What if I told you I could replace professional virtual instruments with AI and you might not even notice, or maybe you'd hear the difference immediately? Well, today we're going to find out. Here's the setup. I wrote and arranged this entire piece inside Logic Pro using traditional virtual instruments. Everything you're about to hear, the melody, the harmony, the orchestration, the dynamics, every single note was written by me. But then I started wondering, what would happen if I took that exact same MIDI and let AI perform it instead? Could it actually compete with professional virtual instruments? So today I'm putting Ace Studio through 4 different tests. First, we're going to compare my original virtual instruments against Ace Studio's AI instruments. Then we're going to see what the Music Enhance feature actually does. After that, we'll test the stem splitter, and finally I'm going to build a hybrid version of the song by combining AI performances with traditional instruments while keeping everything based entirely on my original composition and arrangement. I'm genuinely curious to see which one of these tools actually improve my workflow and which one of these still needs some work. So let's get to it. Now, before we bring AI into the picture, let me show you what we're starting with. This project was created completely inside Logic Pro. I've got strings, bass, piano, drums, soprano saxophone, alto saxophone, tenor saxophone, and baritone saxophone. Everything was programmed using MIDI and traditional virtual instruments. The important thing to understand is that the creative work is already finished. I'm not asking AI to write a song for me. I'm giving it my composition and asking it to perform what I've already written. Now let's see what happens when we move everything into Ace Studio. This is Ace Studio. Most people know it for AI vocals, but it also has AI instruments that can perform imported MIDI. Instead of generating music from scratch, I'm using it almost like hiring a different group of session musicians. The notes stay exactly the same, the arrangements stay exactly the same, only the performance changes. So let's replace those virtual instruments and see what happens. Alright, moment of truth. Let's hear it. That's actually pretty interesting. There are definitely things I like. Some instruments feel more expressive. Others still sound a little artificial. The question isn't really whether it's better or worse. It's where each approach works best. So let's compare them directly. I'm curious what you think. Can you hear the difference? The next feature I wanted to test is Music Enhancer. Instead of replacing instrument, this tool tries to improve an existing performance using AI. So I'm going to run part of my track through it and see what actually changes. Does it sound more realistic, more expressive, or does it change the character of the performance too much? Let's find out. Here's after. Honestly, some parts sound better, some parts are a little different than I expected. And that's why context matters. Something can sound amazing by itself, but not fit nearly as well once everything else comes back into the mix. So let's move on to the next tool. Studio also includes a stem splitter. This is a completely different type of tool. Instead of working with MIDI, we're working with finished audio. The goal is to separate the recording into individual stems. That could be helpful for remixing, studying arrangements, making backing tracks, or recovering individual parts from a finished mix. So let's see how well it works. Overall, I'm pretty impressed. It's not perfect, stem separation almost never is, but depending on what you're trying to do, this could definitely become a useful production tool. Now let's move on to the part I've been looking forward to the most. Building the hybrid track. Personally, I don't think features AI replacing everything. I think it's about using AI where it actually adds value. So instead of choosing one or the other, I'm going to build a hybrid version. I'll keep the virtual instruments that already sounded great, replacing the ones where AI gives me something interesting. Use Music Enhancer where it actually helps, and build the best possible version of my original arrangement. Remember, everything you're hearing still comes from my writing, my composition, chords, melody, orchestration. The AI isn't creating the music. It's simply another way of performing it. Now let's build it. Here's the final hybrid version. after spending some time with all of these tools, I don't think AI is replacing professional virtual instruments anytime soon. At least, not for the way I work. Traditional virtual instruments still give me incredible control over articulations, dynamics, timing, and overall production. But I also found moments where the AI performance has brought a different kind of expression that I probably couldn't have created on my own. And honestly, that's the part that excites me the most. Not replacing musicians, not replacing composers, not replacing producers, but giving us another creative tool. For me, the hybrid version ended up being the most interesting result. Not because AI wrote the music, it didn't. It simply gave my music another way to be performed. And I think that's where these tools have the most potential. Now I want to hear what you think. Could you tell which instruments were AI? Did you prefer the original virtual instruments, the AI version, or the final hybrid mix? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoy honest, real-world testing of AI music tools from the perspective of a working musician and producer, make sure you subscribe. I've got a lot more experiments like this coming. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.